Sama, would you marry an unattractive person but has deen?
No.
Okay,
Never.
yes. Let me. Can you ask the same question to me?
Yeah. Would you marry unattractive women?
No, I wouldn't. And some people think like, and I appreciate your answer. You know why? Because some people go into, I call it the piety attack. Like, no, of course, no. I'm being honest, because at the end of the day, I need to be attracted to that person, and that's a part of my deen for me to lower my gaze. Do you get what I'm trying to say? And there's so many elements to it. So why, for you specifically, would it be that answer, which I believe is a very honest answer?
Yeah. Because I want to be able to look at my, my wife.
Yeah.
With love and passion, so I don't have to look elsewhere. That's very important for me. Yeah. And actually, at one point, we'll talk about it later on the show, but I met someone who I wasn't very attractive to, but she was extremely pious, extremely religious. Yeah. And I was about to marry that person until a good Harvard alumni friend of mine came up to me, and I respect him. It's like a mentor. And he said, "Don't do it, Osama." He said, if you're not attracted to the person, the day will come where you're going to regret that.
And you can transgress their rights.
Yes.
Because the thing is, that's another thing, because you might think, no, you can. But the thing is, you're going to transgress their rights, because at the end of the day, if that is not there, the dynamics are not going to be the same.
Absolutely.
Do you get it? And that's
and you've got to take care, because she has rights upon you. Yeah. Right? And exactly. These rights are, at least like 2-3 times a week. Imam Ghazali says, 2 is good. Because if you overdo that as well, that intimacy with the wife, it's not good for the spirit.
Yes.
But if you don't, fulfill what you need to do, then it's also a problem for the wife, right?
100%.
And so for me, no, it's a red line. And alhamdulillah, I have no issues with that. I'm married, and I'm very happily married. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. It's a true blessing. But to think that, if it's a second wife, that's a completely different story.
Look, just want to be clear. You said it. I didn't say it.
Yeah, of course. It's
Sisters,
part
don't
of...
attack me. Did I tell you to say it?
Sharia? Do we have an issue with God's Sharia?
Yes.
What's the issue?
You know why? Because I always get attacked. I talk about this issue a lot,
Yeah.
And I've talked about it so much. I'm like, I've done my duty, alhamdulillah. You know why?
Yeah.
The reason I've done it is because people pushed it to such a corner, like it's something haram. Thank you. And I spoke about it so much to be like, hold on a second, you're going to go to this extreme, I'll go to the other extreme. Polygamy is the right of every man. Yeah. And you should be proud of it. No. The backlash I got, alhamdulillah, I have no regrets. Haq is haq. But that's the issue here, because there are people, subhanAllah, today, and I believe, like, as men, we have lost it. Wallahi, I'm so concerned. And we are the leaders. And I blame men. When we see sisters out of, not all, I'm not saying all, certain sisters out of control, have you seen this new trend now? Decenter men from your life. If your husband tells you can't go to the gym, you can replace him, divorce him, take the baby and go, all kinds of kalam, yeah? So subhanAllah, yes, sorry to cut you there,
but for me...
So you said second wife?
Yes. Now let me clarify.
Sure.
Me personally, Rasulullah sallallahu when he married Khadija, he never married any other woman until Khadija radiallahu anha passed away. So that there's that Meccan period.
Yes.
And I typically tell people I'm, Khadijan, so to speak, in the sense that me personally, I know that it would be too much for my wife. Yes. Like she expressed it and was very honest about it, that it's something she can't handle. Yeah. So I tell people, people say, Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah. So I tell them, they say, wahdahu la sharika lahu. But they ask me, I say, wahdaha la sharika laha.
Can you translate that to me?
Yeah. So wahdaha, one woman, la sharika laha, without any partner. It's just like that. Yeah. So that's my personal preference. But to come to a point where, and I think for you the same, I don't get the feeling that maybe... But let me say this first. I know people that have genuine, like, think of all the women out there that are divorced, right? Yeah. That if you were to marry every single man to every single woman, there'd be a good number of women that are left unmarried. Who's going to take care of them? So if إحنا المشكلة في تعدد الزوجات, the issue with, marrying more than one, the issue is that men are not men. The issue is not in the women, because the men don't have it in them to sit with the wife and say, this is what it is. This is what I'm doing. Yeah. And, take it or leave it, pretty much. Yes. But with compassion in a certain way. But for you to make something haram, that Allah, and nowadays, how
we have all done Sadaqah Jariyahs of water wells, masajid, orphans. But this is the new Sadaqah Jariyah in town, guys. Teaching someone how to pray Salah, how to do wudu, learning Surah Fatihah, that for the rest of their life, from sisters, that every action they do in Salah, to wudu, to ruku, to sajda, to recite Surah Fatihah is on your scales. You want to teach someone how to pray Salah? We do that, brothers and sisters. Go to the link, and £100 can teach 20 to 60 people to learn how to pray Salah. Imagine the rewards in the hereafter. Go to the link and donate now. And now, back to the podcast.
they'll do all these ajib tafsirs. The Quran didn't mean this by that word. It meant that. It's kind of like the hijab. Well, they'll say, no, it's only talking about covering
your chest area. Wallahi, the stuff they'll come and say it's hijab is not fard.
It's a fitna.
Subhanallah.
But at the same time, I say, for our deen, Allah gave us 2 eyes.
Yes.
One to only see the good in others,
yes.
and one to see all the faults in ourselves.
Yeah.
The one thing that we don't want to do is busy ourselves with people's faults and then we're sitting calling them out. There should be that rahmah. Rasulullah said, وَمَا أَرْسَلْنَاكَ إِلَّا رَحْمَةً لِلْعَالَمِينَ. My issue sometimes with these topics is not what you say, but the delivery mechanism of how you say it. Yes. Sometimes the way you deliver it to the family or to, even to all the women that are listening out there. Yeah. It's Osama's not, giving a green card for every single, man out there to go and marry a second or third. I personally, don't see myself doing it. It might change at some point, maybe later, but I don't see it happening anytime soon, or anytime. I think my wife is watching this show. But anyways, it's a big topic.
It is.
And there's a lot to say there, but let's leave it at that. It's something that is halal.
Yeah.
I even thought of there are other things where some men travel a lot.
Yeah.
And they spend a lot of time abroad.
Yeah.
And then it becomes an issue. They could fall into zina.
Yeah.
What happens if they fall into zina? No, marry that other woman, brother.
And you're talking about marriage here.
Yeah.
Marriage or haq.
Do
you get it?
Yeah.
I'm giving that because they will twist it. So what I'm saying is, this is what's important. If you are, argument's sake, every week, 3 days in a specific area or whatever it is. Yes, we're talking about marriage. We're not talking about what you have ideas. We're talking about giving the haq, meeting the father, marriage, nikah, walima, whatever it is for that matter. That's what we're talking about. Even that's hajib. How dare you? Like literally there was a situation I was dealing with sadly. My issue is the pushback that people have towards it. She was like, I would be sick to my stomach to know if my husband was to go out and see another woman and some kind of desire hits his heart.
It's hard for them, yeah.
It is.
Yeah, of course.
But the thing she was saying was basically, she was saying, men and women can be friends. And I was like, no. But I was at the Prophet. It happened to the Prophet. He went out, he happened to see, he wasn't looking, he happened to see, he had the desire, and he went back to his wife. And subhanAllah, this is the reality of how we're created. And they don't understand. A woman sees it from her perspective. But like you said before as well, it is something that can be very hurtful to the wife. Yes. I'll be honest with you. That's one of the reasons at the end of the day, even like for myself, I know what it can do to my wife. So you need to balance that. Even if you're going to go ahead with it, you have a transparent discussion with your wife. And I think a woman, some might disagree, but be open. There's a situation, etc. But yeah. Interesting. That was we survived that nicely. Alhamdulillah. Perfect. Another marriage card. He's on it.
Let's move these.
Yeah. Oh, okay. You're brave. Yeah. Probably it might be easy, that's why. Have you ever been divorced? When Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala asked Ibrahim alayhi salam to sacrifice his child, all of us think the first sacrificial thing done was to sacrifice his child. Rather, no. The first thing he had to sacrifice was internally to accept that he's going to sacrifice a child for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and Allah replaced it with something better. Are you ready to sacrifice this dunya for the akhirah? Brothers and sisters, there is a link there that you can help teach 20 to 60 people just for £100 to learn how to pray salah, to learn Surah Fatiha, to learn wudu, and every time they do those actions, it is on your deeds. The link is there. Donate whatever you can, inshallah.